Good afternoon, you're watching Midday Live on TV3. I am Wendy Laya. Top stories for this afternoon. National Health Insurance Authority soon to commence issuing identity cards instantly to make the scheme more accessible. But also the Supreme Court sitting on the ruling or not whether to allow the National Democratic Congress NDC join a petition has granted the party that petition. And on the fine front, Ivory Coast former youth minister and ally of ex-president Laurent Gbagbo, Charles Blegoudi, has been charged with war crimes, murder and theft with public funds. So we'll be getting you more information on the second headline, which has to do with the Supreme Court granting the NDC that very petition. We have our court reporter Thomas Adute Papo standing by the Supreme Court. We'll talk to him shortly. I've got the details soon. Don't go away. So like I did say earlier on, information reaching us indicates that the Supreme Court sitting on a ruling on whether or not to allow the National Democratic Congress NDC join a petition by the three leading MPP members challenging the declaration by the Electoral Commission of President John Dramani Mahama as winner of the December 7 election has given them the nod and granted them the petition. But we will be reaching our court correspondent or our reporter Thomas Adetepapo to give us more information regarding that very issue. We move on with some other stories. And Deputy General Secretary of the Progressive People's Party, Pa Ekwakun, says that the party is ready to work with the NDC to develop the country based on the president's statement for Ghanaians to rally together for the country's development. He spoke to Kenneth Osei-Ampofu.
The Progressive People's Party PPP's performance in the 2012 general elections was abysmal, securing only 0.59% of the overall valid votes cast.
Looking forward, we hope that the people of this country will look at their situations and then think about how best they can vote for a political party that is progressive, a political party that thinks and cares about them. So we are hoping that in 2016 they will consider the Progressive People's Party as an alternative.
Pa Ekwakun again shares the party's preparations towards the by-elections in Akachi South and Buem constituencies.
Yeah, even though we as a political party, we've raised issues with the recent election, and as a matter of fact, we have sent a proposal or a petition to the Electoral Commission. We'll still go ahead and participate in the by-election. Our candidate for Akachi South, he has filed with the party, and in the course of the week he will do that with the EC. Our candidate in Buem too is feverishly preparing to also take part in this by-election.
We again saw the PPP's position on the president's all-inclusive governance style.
If the president finds wisdom in calling on any of the PPP members to be part of his administration, I mean, it is for the interest of this country.
We ask the whereabouts of the party's presidential candidate in the 2012 general elections.
Currently, Dr. Pakwe Sindom is in the US. In fact, he left even before Christmas. He will be back hopefully in the second week of February.
All right, so much. Thank you, Kenneth. Right.
More on Midday Live. The National Health Insurance Authority will soon commence issuing identity cards instantly to make the scheme more accessible. Chief Executive of the authority, Sylvester Mensah, says the capitation will also be rolled out throughout the country after a review in February this year. He spoke to Abigail Adumako-Enchi.
A proposed upward adjustment of the National Health Insurance levy, currently pegged at 2.5%, to 4% early this year, is to sustain the scheme. With mental health and cancers added on to the scheme, Chief Executive of the NHIA, Sylvester Mensah, believes the new levy, if implemented, will aid its funding.
The stakeholders proposed an increase of the NHI levy by 1.5%. These have all been submitted to government, and it's our expectation that government would consider and take the appropriate decision. But it must be stated that without additional inflows, the health insurance scheme may face a number of hiccups and cock-ups.
He explained stakeholders at a meeting held in December 2012 kicked against the one-time premium for subscribers.
The one-time premium is not an issue on our menu as we speak today. Stakeholder engagement was conducted in December between the 20th and 21st, and the position of our broad stakeholders is that one-time premium should be set aside, and that recommendation has been submitted to government. It is not in government's manifesto for the next 4 years, and stakeholders have made a loud statement that one-time premium should be put aside.
The NHIA plans to rebrand the scheme by reviewing the capitation, among others, this year.
We're hoping that by the 1st of February, we would announce new tariffs, an increase in the tariffs. We're also looking at implementing the strategy of instant issuance of ID cards, a departure from the existing arrangement where subscribers register would have to wait for 3 months and in some cases forever. The pilot would begin this very quarter. It will be rolled out across the country.
All right, so we go back to our earlier story, and the Supreme Court has granted the National Democratic Congress NDC application to be joined in the petition by the New Patriotic Party NPP, in which the opposition is questioning the integrity of the December 7 polls. This opens the way for a substantive matter to be heard by the courts. A 9-member bench presided over by Justice William Atuguba agreed to the argument raised by the lawyers of the petitioners and granted the application in a 6-3 ruling. And the petitioners, Nana Adodankwe Akufo-Addo and his running mate Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, and the NPP chairman Jacob Echibi-Lamte on December 28, 2012 filed a petition at the Supreme Court challenging the election results on the ground that the EC deliberately manipulated the results to favor President Mahama. The Electoral Commission has debunked claims by the petitioners on the grounds that the election results were credible. So we'll be bringing you more when we do get our court reporter Thomas Adute Papo on the phone to tell us more as to what really happened at the Supreme Court this morning. Let's move to health there. And the first of trained pediatric nurses have undertaken their examination to acquire licenses to operate in the country. The Deputy Registrar of the Nurses and Midwifery Council, Felix Nyante, explained the move is to accelerate government's efforts at meeting MDG goals 4 and 5.
To help Ghana achieve MDG goals 4 and 5, which is to reduce child mortality and maternal mortality, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with Sick Kids Hospital International and the Legon School for Nursing, rolled out a specialized pediatric nursing program in year 2011. The program aims at building the educational capacity of nurses and equipping them with the requisite knowledge and skills in clinical practice, education, and research in pediatrics. The program, which spans a period of 12 academic months, has since trained about 100 nurses, including 11 males. The nurses are currently undergoing examinations, after which they will acquire license to operate as pediatric nurses. Felix Nyante is the Deputy Registrar at the Nurses and Midwifery Council.
The Ministry of Health has thought it wise to collaborate with its stakeholders to come out with a cadre that can zero in terms of maternal and child health. And that is what gave birth to pediatric nursing training in Ghana. It is 12 calendar months, that is 1 full year, and after that they do internship for also 1 year.
Still Midday Live on TV, so we'll be back after this break. Don't go away. The NDC put before them, and they've given them that application.
Indeed, Wendy, I can confidently confirm that by a majority decision of 6-3, judges in the Supreme Court sitting on the NDC petition to be joiners to the MPP suit has ruled in favor of the fact that the NDC should be joint petitioners in a case brought by the new Patriotic Party, who was represented by Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the candidate for 2012, the flag bearer, and the chairman of the party, Jake Obechebi Lampe, as well as the running mate of Nana Akufo-Addo, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. So, a short while ago, the court gave this landmark ruling in favor of the NDC, asking them to be joiners in the case. Now, quickly, let me give you the judges who ruled in favor of the NDC, and that we have the presiding judge, Justice William Atukuba. We also have Justice Edinyura. We also have Rose Owusu. We have Justice Jones Doche. We have Justice Badegbe. But three of them said that indeed the NDC cannot be petitioners in this case, and these judges are Justice Bafo Boni. We also have Justice Eni Yeboah, and the final one being Justice Julius Anta. So a short while ago again, the presiding judge, Justice William Atukuba, stood down the case. What it means is that very soon they'll come back, the court will reconvene, and then they'll give their final determination as to how the case would proceed.
So I was just about asking you what this means and what will be the next step for this very case.
Now, what it means is that the registrar of the Supreme Court would then inform the parties in the case. Before we had the Electoral Commission, we had the President and the petitioners, which is the MPP. Now the NDC have joined us, so it means that he will inform all the parties involved in the case, and the case will be given a date, and then hearing will begin. I mean, let me give you a scenario here at the Supreme Court building. It appears that we have lots of policemen, like they said, and promised that they would increase their numbers that use aggravated force in trying to ensure law and order here at the Supreme Court building. Currently, there are some interviews that have been granted to the media, and the case has gone on recess, and very soon the judges would reconvene and then give us the final determination of the matter. But the long and short of this whole court case is that the NDC are going to be joiners in this case. The MPP were not, in support of that argument, but in a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court judges agree that indeed the NDC are joiners in the case. And I would like to say that in the evening we'll bring all the facts to bear, what the reason that the judges gave for our viewers to know the true determination of the matter. Wendy.
All right, Adote, but before you go, you have touched on security, but was there an instance where you did see some of the party supporters thronging the Supreme Court, as the police did warn them not to do?
Indeed, there are some party supporters here at the Supreme Court building, but coming from what happened in the last case, you realize that everybody is being careful. There's a lot of, civility here at the Supreme Court building, and the police are not working at all. In fact, they are on holiday. I can see a few of them standing, watching proceedings and what's happening here at the Supreme Court building. So I can say that nothing really is happening by way of security threat to the parties in the case and even judges. And so there's a serene atmosphere here at the Supreme Court building. Right. I can see a few of the NDC functionaries speaking among themselves, obviously happy that the case has gone in their favor. And so, in a nutshell, that's what's happening here at the Supreme Court building. I can also hear some few screams from supporters who managed to get through the premises of the Supreme Court, and they are also happy that the case has gone in their favor. But like I said, pretty soon the judges will reconvene, and then the final decision of the matter will be put before us here at the Supreme Court building. Wendy.
Thank you very much, Thomas Adute Papo. He's a court reporter, and he brought us that live report from the Supreme Court. And like he said, the Supreme Court has granted the National Democratic Congress NDC application to be joined in the petition by the New Patriotic Party NPP, in which the opposition is questioning the integrity of the December polls. We continue with our stories. A medical superintendent of the Cape Coast Government Hospital is worried Ghana will not be able to attain the Millennium Development Goals on maternal health and child if stakeholders do not invest more in maternal care. Well, according to the medical superintendent, the hospital recorded over 211 maternal and child death cases between the year 2011 and 2012.
Jifa Damenya was speaking at a Japanese grant signing for the renovation of the Mother and Children Care Unit of the Cape Coast Government Hospital. According to him, the year 2011 recorded 1,536 deliveries, but out of the figure, 94 maternal and neonatal deaths were recorded. He noted the number of deliveries increased to 1,960 in year 2012, but again, the number of maternal and neonatal deaths jumped up to 117. Praising the Japanese government for supporting the Cape Coast Government Hospital with approximately 225,000 Ghana cedis to beef up infrastructure at the maternal care unit, he pleaded for more support from other stakeholders.
This unit will consist of 14 rooms, which will have various uses, mostly the child welfare clinic, laboratories. So it's a one-stop area for the clients who will be coming. Apart from the construction, there will be a shed also as a waiting place for the clients who will be coming to the place.
The Japanese ambassador to Ghana, Naoto Nikai, said Japan, under the Japanese Grant Assistance for Grassroots Human Security Scheme, is providing $121,000 for the renovation and construction of a waiting shed for patients, while part of the funding goes into the provision of furniture and medical equipment.
With additional rooms, the hospital can provide individualized and focused care to its patients. The hospital will also be able to accommodate increased daily antenatal attendance, and patients can have enough privacy.
Now to some other stories. And the graduate teachers last Thursday gave government up to this Friday, which is January 25, 2013, to resolve all outstanding issues relating to their grievances or face an industrial action. The issues include payments of vehicle maintenance allowance, market premium for teachers under the single spine pay policy, and annual increments, credits for teachers, and some other issues with regards to supervision and invigilation of the West African Senior School Certificate Examination. And joining me in the studio is Angel Kabonu, the Vice President of NAGRAT. Good afternoon. Thanks for your time. Now, Mr. Kabonu, we all know that before one organization or body goes for or intends to go for a strike action, they should have spoken to or interacted with the Labour Commission. Have you done that?
Yes, we have sent to Labour Commission 7 days ago our intention, decisions on our grievances. And we've indicated to them the number of write-ups that we have done to Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Ghana Education Service, Ministry of Education, with regards to the grievances that you have just read. So we've done all that we have to do as a labor union, and to our shock and surprise, we did not get any positive response from this organization.
So if you talk of positive response, what really did the Labour Commission tell you?
Well, the Labour Commission has invited us to meet tomorrow.
Okay.
So we are meeting the Labour Commission tomorrow, and we'll get to know what they have for us when we meet them tomorrow.
So they haven't told you as to whether you should hold on your strike action or you should move ahead till you have the meeting with them tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow. I don't know what they have for us, so it will be difficult to preempt it. But you see, for example, take car maintenance allowance. We are not negotiating car maintenance allowance, or we are not telling the government, give us car maintenance allowance. Car maintenance allowance is already being enjoyed by teachers, those who are beneficiaries. For the whole 2012, teachers in the Ghana Education Service have not been paid their car maintenance allowance. So we expect that all the money due them 2012 and now be paid to them.
Now, before I let you continue, during News at 10, one of our news bulletins in the evening, my colleague spoke to Mr. Yosin of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and according to Mr. Yosin, he did indicate that your members should not be worried because your case is under review and on the verge of also being solved. He also did say that you should rally behind NAT, which is a body with a bargaining power to continue with the negotiations. Aside that, he did mention that NAGRA's case comes under the allowance in categories 2 and 3, which are also being sorted out by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission in accordance with a petition brought before it, and adds that the work is about 99% complete. When was the last time you spoke to Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and have you had any interaction with them?
Mr. Yosin is throwing dust to the public eye.
Meaning?
What it means? The last time we met as organized labor with Fair Wages and Salaries Commission on the issues of allowance was in last year, October.
But why haven't you gone ahead to probably find a way of meeting them?
It is Fair Wages and Salaries Commission that invite organized labor to meet. You have a meeting today, and the next time a meeting is organized is about 2 months. And as I indicated to you, the last time we met on those issues was in October 2012. So what is this issue of our issue is being resolved? In any case, it is the resolution of our issues that we are interested in. So if he says the issues are being resolved, we want to see the outcome of the resolution that he's talking about.
Even if they are not meeting you as an organized body, yes, your leaders do interact, don't they?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. The last time we sat down with them, that they sent invitation to us to discuss allowances was in October 2012.
So for you, would you say that this is the usual talk?
This is absolutely usual talk, throwing dust in the eyes of them. The urgency that they ought to attach to this thing is not there. They organize meetings far and wide between to buy time, which is not in the interest of anybody. They know exactly what we are talking about. They know that we haven't brought out anything that is new, and that these things were supposed to be solved some time ago. They know that. So we're not talking about go and rally behind a body that has bargaining certificates.
Would you say that you have exhausted, yes, you're meeting the Labour Commission, but would you say you have exhausted all the avenues necessary for you
If you take our press statement, we have catalogued the number of interaction that we have done by way of correspondence in the press statement. You understand? The number of letters that we've written to the Ministry of Education, the number of letters that we've sent to Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, and all these things just fell on deaf ears.
Was it that after the last meeting you had with Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, you did try reaching them and you didn't get any response at all from them?
On the issues that we've raised, we have even had telephone conversation, telephone calls. We invited Mr. Graham to our Nagrat Day celebration in Sunyani, and these same issues were raised. And the Nagrat Day celebration was last year, October, in Sunyani. These same issues were raised. You understand? So for Mr. Yosin to come and create the impression as if, oh, work is being done, and that, I mean, it's absolutely unfair. You see, if Fair Wages, and the advice I'll have for Fair Wages and Salaries Commission is that instead of trying to banter on radio and TV, we expect them to sit down and find solution to problems. That is why they have been established. Look, on the issues of WAEC invigilation, the Ghana Education Service, way back in 2006, had information from us that, look, invigilation is not our primary job. It is an examination conducted by West Africa Examination Council. If you want our members to invigilate, fair enough. However, compensation package will have to be brought, because this year 2013 we are going to have 2-year groups coming out of the you have the same number of teachers standing on their feet, managing students to write exams, so that the examination will have to be credible.
So let me catch you in, but if you should meet the Labour Commission tomorrow, although you have not met them yet, what will be the way forward for NAGRAT? Would you still continue with your strike action if you are not satisfied with the results?
We want a solution to our problems. If, as we sit now, if you put before me solution to the problem, there will be no problem on Monday.
And if you are still not convinced, like I just told you with what happened on News at 10, and you're still not convinced with what Mr. Yeltsin said, you do meet the Labour Commission and you're still not convinced.
You don't solve problems when you have interview with radio or TV. So when you come on radio, it's okay, oh, your issues are
indeed you're meeting the Labour Commission tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm asking that if you're not satisfied with the conditions they do give you or whatever they tell you, what will be next for now?
Absolutely, if we are not satisfied, then we will have to advise ourselves. That is the only way available for us.
But in the end, the students do suffer.
Well,
that's an issue that has always come up.
Yeah.
But you're saying you're still looking at solutions.
Yeah, in the end, the students suffer, but as at now, I am suffering. So I'm worse off.
But someone might say that also there's a school of thought that believes that this is what you opted to do as a teacher. Yeah. You wanted to standing as a teacher, and it comes with a number of sacrifices.
Even the priest who opted to be a priest for Christ in the church will have to be compensated for the work he did. That is in the Bible.
But most of you does believe that there's reward in heaven. Like some people do say that the teacher's reward is in heaven.
On the lighter side, I don't know the sins that I've committed. I'm not too sure I'll go to heaven, but I'm very sure I am here on earth, and I demand to get what I deserve here on earth because I'm sure I'm here. As for heaven, I am not too sure.
So the issue is that if you are not convinced with the meeting with the commission tomorrow, you embark on your strike action.
Definitely.
And that will start from
Monday 28th.
Not Friday.
Not Friday. Monday 28th. If we are not convinced, we don't see our way clear, we don't have any other option.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I just spoke to Angel Carbono, and he's the vice president of NAGRAT, and we're looking at some issues that the body has raised. We move on to some other stories, and the Wa Central Constituency NDC has expressed appreciation to President John Mahama for the appointment of Rashid Hassan Pelpo as Minister Designate for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. A statement signed by the Deputy Constituency Communications Director of the party said that they have faith in the President's ministerial appointments according to Article 78 of the Constitution, and the statement further stressed that they also have faith that Rashid Pelpo's ability to deliver in the ministry, urging him to remain committed. The Wa Central Constituency assured it will give the necessary support to the Minister Designate for smooth delivery of his mandate.
Right, so after showing some promising signs, the city looks like it is fluctuating once again, as it always does on the Forex market. A very good afternoon to you, and thanks so much for joining us on the business segment of Midday Live. I'm Nanika Sari. Let's begin with from the Ashanti region, and the Metropolitan Chief Executive of Kumasi, Samuel Sapon, has hinted of a construction of 3 major satellite markets to boost business activities in the Kumasi metropolis. The mayor said the new market will help decongest the choked Kejetia market.
Day-to-day business activity in the Kumasi metropolis continues to improve annually. The main Kejetia market has a population of over 100,000, and more businesses continue to spring in the market on a daily basis. Despite an increase in the number of trade and human settlements, the market has never been expanded nor reconstructed. This situation has promulgated brisk business in the streets, with chunk of traders selling in some principal streets across the central business district. In order to deepen Kumasi's reputation as a commercial hub and also create a congenial environment for the numerous traders, 3 new satellite markets are expected to be built. But how will the satellite market appear attractive to these traders? A decongestion exercise is one way of forcing traders from unauthorized sections of the central business district, and the mayor hinted exercise will be stepped up this year, despite a brief suspension.
We will definitely embark on the decongestion exercise and then move all of them from the pavement to where they are supposed to be, like these satellite markets. Now, about the satellite market that you mentioned, to be very honest with you, we are privileged to have an urban grant of which we are going to construct 3 satellite markets, very big ones, one at Atunsu, one at Asawase, and then one at Tafu. As of now, we've almost finished with all the documentation. The funds are available. We're going to give them to on contract, and in no time, the contractor will definitely start constructing these satellite markets.
While we're still staying at the KGTR market, where prevalent fire outbreaks are a source of worry to the business community in Kumasi. 3 major fire outbreaks, we understand, were recorded in 2012 alone at the Kumasi market, and resulted in huge losses to affected traders. As part of the problem-solving solutions being mooted are proposals for an immediate redesigning and expansion of the market.
The Kumasi Central Market, also known as the KGTR Market, was constructed to serve as a business haven for traders in the Ashanti region and beyond. However, since its establishment, the market has not seen any significant rehabilitation, despite periodic increase in the number of traders. 2012 can be described as the worst year for traders here. Hundreds of thousands worth of property were consumed by fire. Anxiety, anguish filled the atmosphere as traders watched in disbelief as their wares were razed down. In the month of April 2012, 2 fire outbreaks were recorded at the KGTR market, and then on 30th December 2012, hopes were once again shattered as the dream to refund loans secured from some banks by some of these traders remained dashed. The causes of the fires and its huge destruction have partly been attributed to the wiring system at the KGTR market and other challenges as enumerated by the Ashanti Regional Fire Commander.
If you look at the roofing, they have also some eaves. They've extended the roof even into the lanes. So using a vehicle like ours, the tender, it becomes very difficult to drive through.
A leading member of the Ashanti Regional MP Caucus, Elizabeth Ajiman, believes the KGTR market needs to be reconstructed.
See, if you can tilt to the far side of, just in front of the market, you could see Kumasi Central Market, the new experience. It tells you that a drawing has been made, but nothing concrete has been done.
Yes, I am saying that we should take politics out of this. Whoever can do it should be given the opportunity to do it. Give this to special technicians or whatever. See how best we can restructure the market, so that whether they will put on a new market or we can renovate these ones for them, that will do.
The mayor of Kumasi, Samuel Sapon, says a new market project will start by the middle of the year.
Now the documentation has reached the presidency. The president has assented to it. The president is going to write officially to the Ministry of Finance, for Ministry of Finance to invite the contractors to come in and then start work. As of now, everything is in place, and at least within, let's give yourself 6 months, we will see something coming out from the central market.
And earlier I was talking about the Ghana cedi not faring too well against some other major trading currencies. Well, the cedi weakened holistically on the interbank market after Tuesday's session, and the local currency was volatile to the euro. Talking about the euro here, let's look quickly at how it is faring against the local currency when you're buying it, it's 2 Ghana cedis 53 pesos on the forex market exchange rate, and it's 2 Ghana cedis 59 pesos. That is what it's being sold at, and the CFA of about 0.83 pesos and 0.84 CFA respectively, but managed to end the day stronger to the pound sterling by 0.39%, and the pound sterling reflecting here as against the major trading currency, which that is the pound sterling against the local currency, the cedi, 3 Ghana cedis and 6069. That is the price that you get it when you go to the forex markets. Of course, it would differ at the various forex stations, and 3.14 is what it's being sold at. The cedi was, however, stable to the dollar after this morning session with a year-to-date decline of 1.13, and it showed a little decline here comparing it to yesterday's figure. Yesterday it was trading at 1 Ghana cedi 90 pesos, and this morning it's trading at 1 Ghana cedi 92 pesos against the dollar. So that is it for the forex market. We'll be updating you more on the commodity market as well.